This podcast is brought to you in part by Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, Guaranteed Labels, Central State Bank, Sunrise Docks, Banker's Bounty, and Dr. Thomas Dudney. Now, back to Bubba on the Lake.
Voices rippling waters, the world stops to stare. News and the scores, tech spins on his wheel. National renown, the truth he reveals. From the mellow yellow studio, he sends the sound. Echoes through the nation where legends are found. The lake holds the power, ripples don't lie. Bubba on the airwaves riding waves that won't die. Late night static, stars hanging low. Every turn of his voice, the world seems to glow. Microphone crackles like fire on stone. Bubba carves the stories, makes the air his throne. From the mellow yellow studio, he sends the sound. Echoes through the nation where legends are found. The lake holds the power, ripples don't lie. Bubba on the airwaves riding waves that won't die. It flies fast, tech churns the tide. News shakes the edge, Bubba reads it wide. Listeners, they gather like moths to his flame. One man's voice rising, never the same. From the mellow yellow studio, he sends the sound. Echoes through the nation where legends are found. The lake holds the power, ripples don't lie. Bubba on the airwaves riding waves that won't die.
Hey, we need more Bubba on the Lake. I have just last week given up Rick. I just can't listen to him anymore. I don't think he realized how much you added to the show, how much you told him, how much you cut him off and changed gears on him. And now no one's doing that, and he babbles on about himself forever. Can't stand it anymore. I miss you. You do talk about your family, but it's short, it's sweet, it's always funny. And the others, like the Radio Ham people, the other people you've had, Skywalker Ranch, all those other people have been very interesting. Keep it up. Enjoy listening. Thank you.
Hey, Bubba, this is Shelly Key with Diaper Duo. Big fan. I was just wanting to know if we could talk about letting me sponsor on your podcast. I love it. I love Drickin' Bubba for 30 years. Like I said, I'm a big fan. Just getting this business off the ground, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. 256-599-2003. See you soon.
Without further delay, let's help our host around this first buoy. We all know him as the Silver-Tongued Mariner, the voice of common sense, professional pontoon salesman's captain of the year, the connoisseur of lunch on the lake, and Jack State's newest communication organizer, using his mastery of the Southern English. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Bill Bubba Bussey.
Hey, Bubba. This is Susan Kay. I just wanted to say that I really enjoy both of the, what are they called? Theme songs. That's the word I'm looking for. I love the one that is rap that, I don't know, it sounds like D. Whether it's D or not, it sounds like D. And I love that one. but I'm also enjoying the one that really kind of sounds like 90s country, and I am sorry that you can probably hear my blinker in the background because I'm driving, because I just finished an episode. But anyway, have a great day. Bye.
Hey, Bubba, this is Mike out in Mississippi. A longtime listener of the Rick and Bubba Show. Love your podcast. Now, just going to let you know I was listening to a new show that the guys are doing, and they were talking about sausage balls earlier and about the fact that they don't need as much food now that you're gone. I thought it was kind of tacky and not in good taste. Still love you. Thankful for you, but hate to hear them kind of rough talking you there. Take care.
Hey, Bubba, this is Robert in North Carolina. Just listen to your podcast with how you and Betty met. Your hairstyle in the 80s couldn't have been any worse than mine. I had the flat top going on, sides shaved, and a long red neck perm in the back. Had it like I liked it. We love you, Bubba. Praying for your success. You have a great day.
Hey, Bubba, Troy from Tennessee. Hey, when Rick and Bubba show was ending, you made a comment that Greg was your kid's godfather. I always figured that you kind of got to know Greg through Rick, but this kind of changes my timeline. How did you two get to meet and become so close? Thanks. Enjoying the podcast.
Well, how about those little pearls of entertainment? We covered quite a few topics with those calls from our message line, 308 Big Lake. We'll try to break those down for you in just a minute. Of course, I'm your semi-retired, mostly washed-up host, formerly of the Rick and Bubba Show, and now your host for Bubba on the Lake. Our website is bubbaonthelake.com. Feel free to email me anytime at bubbaonthelake.com. We're broadcasting from the Mellow Yellow studio, and we're just glad to have you along. Again, I love the message line. We don't get to play those back every week, but I tell you, I enjoy them. There was another one I wanted to put in from Big Ron, and I have lost it, Ron, in the editing process, and I apologize. I'm going to go back and try to find it. We love hearing from Big Ron. He was a great listener to the show for many, many years, and he had a couple of great lines there and questions on the message line, and I wanted to include those, but I somehow lost them as I was moving everything around here in editing. So we'll try to find those. But I want to cover some of these topics, some great lines there. Have some folks that saying that the show is not what it used to be now that Rick and the gangs do it. Get a few of those. We got the shameless plug in, and I just let it go. So you got a shameless plug there. Don't always do that. We had several comments about songs. Susan said she likes the songs, and I guess you noticed we changed it up a little bit this week. We let off with one of the songs that had been sent to us, and I would love to tell you who did it. But in all honesty, I lost the email. These are AI-generated songs, and I had several of them sent to me, and I lost the email that originally came with this. So if you did that, shoot me an email back, and we'll give you props on that. Let's see. Mike was worried about me getting hammered on from the new show for them not needing as much food. Mike, in all honesty, I can't argue with that statement. I'm going to have to say and stamp that one as true and just let her roll. Oh, I love these. I really do. And I love the fact that you only have a certain amount of time, so you really have to get it in quick. And I love that. All right, Greg and Lisa, godparents. Yes, they were the designated godparents for our children if something had happened to Betty and I before they became of age, which they have now, so that's no longer in play. But I did meet Greg through Rick originally, And we, had a friendship of our own. So he ended up buying property from my family to build his house where he lives now. So, we kind of had that connection and the Pleasant Valley thing where he lives now and all of that too. So that was kind of on the side. And really our thought process was that if something had happened to us, we wanted our kids to go back and be around family. And Greg was kind of right in the middle of all of our family back then. And a lot of them have passed away now. But at that time, if things had not worked out when we went to the big city of Birmingham to do the radio show, we wanted them to go back and be around family and the roots and the things that, we knew so well and was comfortable with. We didn't know what we were getting into at the time. So, but it would have all worked out and ended up not needing them. Thank you, Lord, for that. And but we always appreciate them agreeing to do that. And I think that will wrap up the immediate questions there. Keep those cards and letters coming, as I used to say, at 308 Big Lake. Always enjoy that. Okay, we've had several requests for comments in the news, and I do want to touch a little bit on the Trump-Elon thing, what's going on, and also want to know what you think about it. But we'll be back and comment on that in just a moment. Thank you for being with us.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll be right back. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? That's a bold question, but it's got that irresistible taste to back it up. One thing's for sure. When you've got an irresistible, tasty match like zero sugar and 0 calories, something sensational is bound to happen. It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears, because this Coke Zero Sugar tastes amazing. It's hard to put it into words, and that's my job. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar. Best Coke ever?
Attention business owners, print buyers, and production managers. Guaranteed Labels is here to help you focus less on your printing, labels, and decals, and more on growing your business. Guaranteed Labels, your dependable printer for all types of industries. Quality, on-time shipments, and stock programs set us apart. If you're needing to focus less on your printing and more on your business, trust Guaranteed Labels. 800-741-7055 or GuaranteedLabels.com. Guaranteed Labels, still sticking since 1988.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kinda just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
Well, folks, it's time for This Week in News. It's time for This Week in News.
It's time for This Week in News. It's time for This Week in News.
It's time for This Week in News.
Oh, my gosh. Which one of y'all are responsible for that? That has to be the worst opening for a segment I have ever heard. What? Are y'all drinking on the job? Is that what it is? I know we don't have a lot of music we can use because of all the copyright stuff. I know. But still, that was what you came up with? That's why you had me cut that? That is horrific. I mean, we could be barred off multiple platforms just because that sucked. I mean, that was bad. Please get rid of that. Somebody get John Bird on the line, see if we can get something. Good night. Y'all, don't even talk to me. That is horrible. How are we going to move this podcast up with that going on? Speaking of that, we have some rather unusual statistics that I wanted to talk about on here too. There's several things going on here. Okay, so I'm sorry it's a little scattered today, but I am trying my best to get all of this on and get it going. Let me pull this up right quick so we can cover it in just a minute too. Okay, in the news, Donald Trump and Elon Musk have been at a war of words. I will say to most conservatives, yeah, we figured they'd get into a tiff eventually, right? You've got the most powerful man in the world and you've got the richest man in the world. How in the world are they going to get along forever? You had to know this was coming, right? Didn't everybody think that? Donald Trump will win the short-term battle on this. Elon Musk will probably win the long-term battle. Think about it. America overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. Very popular. People are not going to go against him. But there's a lot of people that admire Elon Musk, think he's very smart. So where did we run aground with all of this? It's all over the big, beautiful bill and the EV tax cuts that was included in it. Okay, well, let's talk about Elon for a minute. Smart guy. He's in charge of a lot of companies. He's been running the Doge program. Now, he was hired to Run Doge under a special government employee contract. Well, they have a limited time on it. There's a drop dead date. So that's one reason you have seen that come to an end as quick as it did. It was a special arrangement, and it run its course. Now, as far as the big, beautiful bill, I think Elon Musk thinks big picture. He thinks in absolutes, black and whites. He sees pork in this that he feels like goes against his mission in Doge. So he has spoke out against it. Well, President Trump didn't care for that. President Trump's trying to get this through, and he says that this is going to be a great bill, and it does cut some things, but it doesn't cut them enough for Elon's satisfaction. So I think where Elon may have missed the boat on this a little bit is that, when it comes to a democracy, when it comes to a constitutional republic that we are, you have to take baby steps. It's hard to get the perfect thing you want all the time because all of these politicians, senators included, are looking out for their part of the pie. So if you're planning on cutting something that's big in my state, even though I may be a Republican, I may go against this bill, or I may be for this bill if I pick up something. So again, they are representing individual states that might have opposing, conflicting interest in this bill. But I think really what it comes down to, and I may be wrong, but I'm just going to shoot from the hip on this. I think Trump is trying to move the needle as far as he can. For Elon, I don't think it's enough. I think it's really that simple. And then they got into a little tinkling contest. So I wouldn't be too upset about it. I kind of halfway expected this at some point, maybe not now. Plus, let's remember, as conservatives, as Republicans, it's hard for us to stay on top and be a winner and enjoy the success we're having. We always tend to get into a circular firing squad at some point. So you may see a little bit of that here too. But don't think that this is a divorce and a final degree in this. Degree. That should be fairly easy to say, don't you think? We have seen President Trump get into some very high-profile dust-ups with other people. And then mysteriously, they come back together. You've seen this several times. I will just point out Megyn Kelly being one of them. That was pretty bad for a while, but now they are two bugs in a rug, very tight. I think you will probably see that with Elon again. I think Elon, just the way he's made up, he does not and cannot compromise. I don't think that's a good, a good quality if you're an engineer. You can't compromise. You always compromise to some degree. I know that. But, when the goal is to get to space, if the goal is to get to orbit, if the goal is to get to Mars, there's really no way you compromise that. You have to design, build, and test to do that. And that's what he's done. So I think it may be a little more of a culture issue in that, we even see Trump now, President Trump, a lot more workable on some of these bills than he was during his first term because he knows there's no way to get it through. Even when you have Republicans and conservatives in control, that doesn't mean they're always of one mind. And again, it goes back to the people they represent. Is this good for my people? Is it not? So I think it's just the process working itself out. Sure, I wish they wasn't arguing. I liked it when they were a loving married couple. We all did. They were the world super couple. It was the most powerful man, the richest man. We had rockets. We had Tesla cars. We had Trump. We had the left-wing media losing their mind. It was great. It was great while it lasted, okay? It'll be back. Now, as far as them slinging mud at each other, it's a little ridiculous. It's almost so ridiculous, I got to tell you, I can't even really think it's real. It's just so silly, some of it, for two people who are so smart. So, I don't know. Trump, I give him credit. He's usually playing 4D chess on everybody. And that's one thing that drives the left crazy. That's why they have Trump derangement syndrome. He's always a half a step ahead of them. And either by purpose or accident, he seems like he always comes out a half a step ahead. So I don't think you're going to see him change his strategy on that. As far as Elon, SpaceX is doing well. They need to get the Starship dialed in. They've had several missions on that. They're getting better, getting closer. Stock price is hurting a little bit at Tesla. He'll get that back up. Look, I don't think the EV tax credit is what's eventually going to drive this. It's nice to have. But most people want to drive a Tesla, not because they're saving the planet, but because it's just cool. It's a cool car to drive. That's why I would want one. That's why I want one. It's just a cool car to drive. It's fun. There's a lot of high-tech stuff on it. I mean, why wouldn't you want one? So don't play into this too much. I know the left is going to have a little fun with it. But I think it's just the way it is. So sit back and enjoy it for what it's worth. We'll be right back in just a moment.
It's Bubba on the Lake. Bubba on the Lake.
I am so happy to announce that our family dentist, Dr. Thomas Dudney, has joined my podcast as a sponsor. My entire family have been patients of Dr. Dudney and his team for over 20 years. Now, I'm going to be telling you a lot more about all of his services and what he does, but I have to tell you, the veneers that he gave me changed my life. I had no idea how big an impact that would have. You can call him today at 205-663-6545 or visit them at thomasdudney.com and find out more.
At Central State Bank, We believe community banking is more than just transactions. It's about relationships. For over 100 years, we've been helping neighbors grow, businesses thrive, and dreams become reality. Because when you bank local, you invest in your community. Central State Bank, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit us today or learn more at centralstatebank.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Dr. Travis Taylor from The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch on History Channel. I hope you guys enjoy Season 6 that just started. And I hope you continue to keep listening to Bubba on the Lake.
Well, we are back in the Milliella studio, and we have our very special guest, my better half, the lovely Betty Lou. Betty.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, or whatever it is when you'll be listening to this. But it's a lovely morning here on Lake Martin. Had a lot of rain lately, and I've been told I'm not projecting my voice, so if I sound funny, that's why. I'm projecting my voice.
So you have now adapted your professional broadcast voice after hearing Herb Winch's.
Yes.
Basically.
Hello, everybody. That's Herb's line. I was just using it. I'll borrow it every now and then.
Well, we're also trying out some wireless mics here in the studio, so we don't know how these are going to work either. But we're playing with them, kind of see what they're going to do. Betty, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. One, we get a lot of questions about the podcast and how is the podcast doing and all of that. I wish that all of the data, and there is all kind of information out there, was a little easier to get in one place, but it's not as easy as you think it should be with all this digital stuff running around because of the way the different formats handle it. But we do have a snapshot of part of it from Simplecast, that is our RSS originator, our real simple syndication, a lot of people like to call it. And we were just looking at some of the numbers. I mean, we're sneaking up right now on 200,000 downloads since we started.
That's incredible. Yeah.
That's kind of wild, isn't it? So to give you an idea, and again, I can't give you the whole picture because they come from 2 or 3 different areas, but just in a nutshell, we were hoping to get about 10,000 downloads a podcast. And right out of the gate, we got 30 on the first one. Now, most of the time, how do we get there? It's not like the radio business where everything's up front and then, it kind of trails. It would look like a pennant flag. This looks more like an arrow, if you would. You get about, at least with us, we're tracking about half the downloads right away and then about a half over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So it starts out with about 15,000 and then floats up to about 30 is what we're looking at. And
which I guess that's good, right?
Well, it's better than we were shooting for. Of course, there's people with millions. So, we got some work to do.
Right.
And we'd like to get that up. But we're just being honest and letting you know these numbers and where they stand. Now, one of the pieces of data to me that is just absolutely mind-boggling, and we have several here. This is funny, time of day. It looks like 6 o'clock in the morning is the peak time, and it looks like 6 to 10 for the most part is where most of the listeners come from. That trails off, but there's still a good amount of people listening later in the day. But a lot of that is because it's released at 2 o'clock in the morning, some of them.
Right.
And we try to do that so that it will be on your device when you get up ready to go the next day. Not always, but sometimes. That was kind of the goal. So, but this is to me the most strange part of this. If you see the footprint, it's predominantly the United States. Predominantly the southeast and east coast of the United States. Now, there's a few little pockets out west there. But the countries, when you look at the countries who are downloading this podcast, the United States is 97%, okay? That is the biggest majority by far, as expected, okay? No surprise there. What is a surprise to me is who the number 2 country is. Would any of you out there like to guess what the number 2 country is?
I don't think they would guess this because that's weird.
Some of you might say Mexico. They come in at number 5. Canada would be a good guess. They come in at number 7. Maybe you would think England or the United Kingdom. Number 6.
That's crazy.
Number 2 on the list, Iran. Now, I hope we're not outing somebody there, okay? I want to say that up front. But who are these people? And we've had 716 downloads in Iran.
That's great. Somebody's spreading the word.
I mean, are these people going to the galas and this is their last request? I mean, what is going on there?
Germany's number 3.
Germany, number 3. And I'm not totally shocked by that because we have a lot of military folks there. Number 4 is India. I think that's only fair since we talk to so many of them on customer service.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's turnabout's fair play. And then, as I mentioned, Mexico 5, United Kingdom 6, Canada comes in at number 7, and number 8, Betty, our friends in Sweden. Okay, this is the Ace of Base crowd right there. Number 9, I don't even know what that country is.
I don't either.
Anybody? Can you say that?
I thought it was Kazakhstan. Is that how you say? I don't know. That doesn't look right though.
I've never
it's something
seen
with a K.
that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never been there. I can tell you that for sure.
Let me spell it for you. You geography people, you might know what this is. KYRGYZSTAN. What country is that? That's not Kazakhstan.
I don't know. We probably should have Googled it and hit pronounce this or something.
Well, I'm not even going to try.
Here we are.
I'm not even going to try it. Number 10 is France.
Yep.
With 137. I'd like to see the French with a few more.
Yeah, because we've entertained some French people before that played tennis, and I'd like to see them come on to the podcast.
As a matter of fact, I think they had a good time when they stayed with us. And what Betty's talking about, we had young ladies on the Challenger Tour, which is the tour below the main tennis, the Women's Tennis Association, WTA. And they're the ones trying to make their way up. And honestly, most of them that you see that are at the top work their way up through the Challenger Series. Mm-hmm. And we used to host the ones that came to Pelham because it is a lower amount of money. It's like, it started out at $25,000, turned into $50,000, but they need the points more than they need anything because you have to get these points to get your rating up so you can go into the majors. Mm-hmm. And we've had some that went in and did very well. But it was funny because we had a young lady from France who came, had a good time, enjoyed meeting her. And then it seemed like girls from France called us every year to see if they could stay with us. I like to call it the French Connection.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Do you even know what that is?
Probably need
Do you know what French Connection?
It's a movie, isn't it?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I'm blind, but come on.
Well, I was just wondering. It was an
movies.
older movie, so I didn't know if you'd seen it or not. Because you're a little younger now.
Oh, yeah. About 10 years. No, I'm kidding. It's not that much younger.
Well, you look 10 years younger,
sure.
but it's not in real life.
Me.
What is it, 3?
I think so,
okay,
yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
But again, I go back to number 2 on the list.
Yeah, that's
Iran.
strange. Very strange.
Didn't expect to see Iran on the list.
Yeah.
Well, how do you think the podcast is going so far?
I hope it's going well. I mean, like I said, I don't know that much about all these analytics and all that. This is very interesting to me. And as you can say, there's always room for improvement. I mean, there's people with millions, and I don't know what we need to do to get that many. Well,
I have an idea, but I don't think me or you either one want to do that.
No, I'm not going streaking and talking about it. But oh my, that would be a hoot, though.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Betty is now plotting a big promotion for the podcast. Stay tuned for details.
Yeah.
No, but we're having a lot of fun doing it, and I hope it continues to grow. And of course, that's the audience has to make that happen. We can do it and try to promote it, but word of mouth from them will do more than anything. And, we need to keep our sponsors happy that are on here. We got some really good sponsors. You hear them, you hear their commercials, you hear their billboards at the beginning and end of the podcast. And, try to support them and drop them a line. Let them know you appreciate them being a sponsor. That always that does help.
That's right. So the next time you're getting your teeth cleaned, tell Dr. Dudney, thank you so much.
Right. Preferably when the instruments are not in your
That's
mouth.
right. Yeah,
and,
before the cleaning.
Yeah,
and
then you make your way to do the other things that we support too.
That's right.
But we appreciate you being here, and we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back. We have a couple of other things in the news we need to discuss.
It's Bubba on the Lake. Bubba on the Lake.
Another staff meeting, another push for cross-selling, another awkward silence. Then Banker Bounty happened. The first referral platform made just for banks. One app that empowers every employee, not just your top producers, to bring in business. No more spreadsheets, no more silos, just clarity, culture, and actual growth in real time. Banker Bounty fixes more than your referral program. It fixes your momentum. Go to bankerbounty.com, watch the video, book your free demo. Banker Bounty, create, manage, and track referrals in real time.
Just got that new boat? Let Sunrise Docks protect your investment with Swift Shield boat covers, Neptune boat lifts, and easy ports for your personal watercraft. Plus, they have composite decking that stays cool, designed with your feet in mind. Sunrise Docks is always first in quality, first in service, and first in customer satisfaction. Right off Highway 63, your Lake Martin headquarters, with 2 barges and the most experienced boat lift crew on the lake. Sunrise Docks is your lake life expert. Call 256-392-5200.
You're listening to Bubba on the Lake.
Hit me bad.
A production of Intergalactic Pants and Tees.
All rights reserved.
All right, we're back. We've talked about several things on the podcast, several news issues out there. Several of you had emailed wanting to know about the riots in L.A. Have you been watching any of this on TV?
I have, a little bit. It's very sad. There's just it's just madness, really. I mean, I don't really understand why or what's going on, It's like they just went nuts.
Well, I think it's when you have people who've done a criminal act and you try to round them up and there's so many of them, they fight back.
Right.
I think it's really that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they are professional agitators involved. I know President Trump mentioned this, and absolutely this is done.
Mm-hmm.
We have been to some of these protests. I have people that go that I know who go and cover these things, and it doesn't take but about 1 or 2 who really got the command of and able to speak and communicate and fire the group up like a cheerleader.
Right.
And there's no doubt that's going on. So that makes you ask the question, well, who wants to see this type of chaos? Well, all of it comes from Big Red to begin with. We know
right.
that, the author of all lies. But on a more earthly sense, you have enemies of the United States. You have China. You have Russia. They would nothing more to see us in a complete meltdown internally. And why is that? Because that means we have to turn our attention internally, and we can't watch what they're doing out in the world as they try to grab more and more influence. So you have to know some of that goes on. Even in our own country, we have political factions that would love to see things stirred up. They're against this. I've never understood the thing of I support illegal immigration. Logically, I can't follow it.
Well, and I don't understand this burning the American flag thing. If you don't want to be here and you hate America so much that you're going to spit on the flag and burn it, leave. Just go back to wherever you're from. If you thought that was so great, why are you here? I don't understand that. Somebody explain.
And then you get here and you unveil the Mexican flag, and you're running around with it. If that's what you want to live under, go where
back.
It's flying.
Right.
Back in old Mexico.
Yeah. And I don't mind if you're here and you used to live in Mexico and you like Mexico and want to support every now and then, put your flag out there, but don't start burning ours and hollering and throwing bombs and all that stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's silly. And Trump did the right thing, sending in National Guard and Marines, whatever it takes to get that culled. And federal judge, the governor there is fighting it, of course.
Of course.
Gavin Newsom. He wanted to look more moderate. He started doing these interviews with Hannity and all of this because he was trying to put himself in a position to run for president next time. But when something like this happens, he just can't help it. He just lives out. He can't help it.
The true colors come out.
And again, I don't get why you want this. Look, immigration is an important part of our country. It always has been. It always will be. I want people who want to visit to be able to come here easily, visit, spend time, do a job if they have a temporary kind of job, a contract situation, and go back home. I think we can accommodate a lot of that. What we don't want is just brazen, illegal immigration where you say, screw the rules of your country, forget the borders, we're coming in, we're going to do what we want to do. And that is chaos. And it doesn't work. And if you don't think protecting your borders are important, talk to an American Indian. The ultimate example of control immigration.
That's true.
Hypocrite, Bubba. No, it's a great example is what it is. And also, I might add, while we're on the topic, spend a little money in research and development. Just because you have an arrow doesn't mean that gunpowder ain't out there. Okay? So you got to always keep moving. You realize, think about the weapon systems we have today. We have nuclear weapons. We have these massive aircraft carriers that we can project power all over the globe. We have these Raptor fighter jets. We have the F-35. We have F-18s that are still in service, and just incredible weaponry that we can use. We can follow heat signatures. We can put a laser dot on them. We can put their GPS address, fly it right to them, precision munitions. And we have all of this. And at one time, somebody thought, well, there'll never be anything better than throwing rocks. And then the guy invented the sling. And we saw how effective that could be. See, David.
Yeah.
And then, you moved on up and somebody invented bow and arrow. And they thought, well, this is it. I mean, I can hit somebody further than they can throw a rock. So they just kind of sit on it and quit dealing with it. You should have talked to that guy in the back that was playing with flint back there. Gunpowder was a game changer.
Yeah. It is amazing how far we've come with all that,
Yeah, and it's sad too, and to some degree, that we've had to spend that much on weapons of destruction that we can't be spending that time and effort on, growing better food, safer food, all of that. I know that kind of sounds like a lib. I got that, but not really. Because
everybody wants to be healthier, safer,
We want to be safe, we want to be healthy, and the day's coming when all these weapons are going to be hammered into plowshares, the Bible tells us, and what a glorious time that will be for sure. But in the meantime, they are evil people that wish to do us harm, and we need to be ready to meet that challenge wherever it be, on the high sea, in the air, in space, on the ground, whatever. And that's why we have the U.S. military.
Right.
The beacon of freedom.
Yeah. And that's part of their job, is to protect the citizens. So that's what they're trying to do.
And in the just plainest breakdown, simple terms, and Rush Limbaugh had a great quote about this, is their job is to kill people and break things. And that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So we don't need social experiments in the military. We need them to be good and equipped and trained and ready to go on a moment's notice to protect us against the threats of our country from abroad and within when necessary. So I think the LA riots will pass. we have LA riots ever so often anyway.
Right.
I mean, it's almost like clockwork,
Well, it's kind of like during COVID that summer, everything went nuts. And it's very eerily similar to all that. So I don't know, if it's an organized group or that started all of it. I guess it is.
I promise you there is organized support behind it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
So anyway, for the peace-loving people of Los Angeles, I hope you are safe, and I hope you will cull the clowns in your neighborhood, because we would like for you to be part of the American dream too. All right, we'll be back, and thank you, Betty, for sitting in for us for a second.
Well, you're welcome. I hope my voice is projecting.
Yeah, I hope the wireless mics are too, because I haven't heard them back. But we'll see how that goes. So thank you. We appreciate you being part of Bubba on the Lake.
This podcast is brought to you in part by Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, Guaranteed Labels, Central State Bank, Sunrise Docks, Banker's Bounty, and Dr. Thomas Dudney.
Hey, it's Bubba, Bubba on the lake. This is Bubba, Bubba on the lake. Yeah, he's got it going on. Gotta come and check this. Talking people, talking places from Bubba's perspective. This is Bubba, Bubba on the lake. Hey, Bubba, Bubba on the lake. Let's go.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.